I'd been in conversation with a few curators for a number of years prior to my Worcester Art Museum exhibition. We had discussed the form and content of my work extensively. They'd come to my studio and looked at paintings, drawings, and prints in progress, as well as finished pieces. We would talk about the ideas I was pursuing and the form they were taking. It's been a generative part of my process to talk with a curator about the how and why of making. Giving voice to ideas makes them real, and the act of describing an ever-evolving perspective to another professional can help bring my thoughts into focus. Curators pose questions I might never ask myself. Their training provides an historical context and an objective view, especially if they've watched the work develop over time. As much as I love the solitude of the studio, it's essential to let fresh air in, and there's nothing like a visit from a curator, a gallerist, as well as another artist to broaden the view inside my head and my studio. The title of the artwork in the collection of the Worcester Art Museum, American, naciremA, was changed at the last moment. Shortly before leaving my studio, en route to the museum, I added the number 1, noting it as the first in a series. Being in dialogue with colleagues helped me know that this piece marked a new direction in my practice, and I wanted to register the creative threshold I was crossing, even though there was barely a number 2 in progress. Exhibiting in the museum's modern and contemporary gallery was extraordinary. Surrounded by the work of artists who had explored their subjects with great intensity, I was inspired to increase the depth of my own work through a tightly focused series. A year after the close of the show, I've developed a body of work that retains a formal and conceptual connection to American naciremA 1 with a strong thematic, material, and graphic core. Thematically, I'm interested in the depth of meaning that can be derived from non-objective abstraction, especially psychological and social content, with an emphasis on history, place, and identity. For several years, a volume of James Baldwin's lesser-known verses titled Jimmy's Blues and Other Poems inspired a body of work that connects the metaphorical nature of my abstractions to the concrete nature of his words. Later, I expanded my practice to include references to other African American writers of historical note, particularly W.E.B. Du Bois' seminal work, The Souls of Black Folk, and his theory of double consciousness. The museum's wall label for American naciremA 1 noted Du Bois' concept by stating, Black Americans find their dual identities split and at odds, constantly aware of their perception by others, namely whites. The next iteration of my series was titled Deconstructed American. The newest pieces continue to use the word American as a visual collage element. Repeatedly print, cut, and recombined, the letters form multifaceted patterns as fragments are rearranged to align or contrast. In this way, numerous perspectives on our country's national identity can coexist during a time when debates over who belongs dominate the news. Hand lettering in encaustic monotype is uniquely suited to this graphic work, as it conveys the political potency of graffiti, as well as the ephemeral character of a charcoal drawing and a grainy black and white photograph. In some compositions, fractured stars and stripes are foregrounded, and in others, abstracted pieces evoke a snippet of exposed film, a stroke of chalk on a blackboard, or an inky night sky, all reminders of unbound possibility. Going forward, I'm experimenting with the addition of found imagery, integrated with a hand-lettered text. This will couple language fragments with images abstracted from a range of media, from both popular culture and historical documents. I'm eager to see where this next step takes me and how the work continues to evolve.